So I finally managed to disassemble my own serif-m. Here is the Marin blade. Oh shoot, the bushings fell out. And I managed to put on the serif-t blade. Eventually I'm going to try the opus blade, and I'm going to try them with also the different weights in here. Right now I have zippy weights in currently. The thing about the so I'm gonna try with different weight balances. Particularly right now with no weights and with zippy weights, and we'll see about medium brass weights. I probably won't bother with heavy brass weights because they're just not my taste. Right now, serif-t blade on the serif. It is, well, it still feels like a serif, I'm gonna be honest. The serif-t blade, I feel like compared to the regular serif blade, has less tip weight. I do have a serif V1 here, and in here I have medium brass weights. So yeah, the serif V1 definitely seems to have more momentum than the serif-t blade. Not that that's a bad thing. If you prefer your knives more handle bias, you can always do that. Also, unfortunately, the bushings are like undersized for the serif, so I have to have it kind of loose because I'm going to be disassembling this knife like 5 times. But as of now, I have not tried a serif. Wait, no, actually, I haven't tried the leaf blade, like the dagger style blade that came with the Prisma Pro. But besides that, like the Marin blade is basically the same as the trainer blade, and there's no losing combination. I have, yeah, again, I don't know about the leaf blade, but right now the serif-t blade, if you were to try and save money and get a serif-t blade or a trainer blade for your serif handles, because a serif blade and an opus blade are significantly more money than a serif-t blade for whatever reason. I just assume it's maybe because of like the grind work. There's no losing combination, but it definitely feels like there's less tip weight. So I'm going to try this serif-t blade with no weights inside. Back again, but this time I've extracted the zippy weights, and let's see. It's feels pretty neutral. Actually, it still feels handle bias? Am I crazy? The serif-t blade doesn't have a lot of tip weight. Right now I feel like if you want a live blade but you want to be cheap, the serif-t blade, it's definitely not going to do you a disservice, but personally I find that it just lacks the tip weight that I prefer from the serif blade and the opus blade right now. And also the Prisma trainer, you can get inserts. You can get inserts for the Prisma blade. So that trainer is, you know, you can add weight to it. So yeah, it does arguably feel better with no weights in, but I don't know. I think the serif-t blade it's fine. Let me just make sure I'm getting, yeah, it's fine. Definitely not bad, but right now, my brain says if you can afford to get a serif blade or an opus blade, well, I'm very excited to try the opus blade because the serif-o, some people say, is the best combination. Anyways, serif-t blade still feels pretty good. I prefer the serif blade over it though. And now the coveted serif-o. Whoa, yeah, the opus blade has a lot more tip weight, and so it definitely feels like there's a lot more of the blade leading. Shit. Yeah, I think I'll need to put in the lightweights. Possibly the medium weights, however, my medium weights are currently in my serif V1, so then I'd have to assemble that too, so we'll see. It does feel really good, albeit just a lot more blade weight. Let's see, chaplains. Yeah, it's still chaplain, so it's not blade biased. It's just got more blade weight. But it feels really good. Still feel like the serif still feels good with the serif blade, I should say. With the opus blade, it just definitely has more momentum. So if that's something that you're looking for, fuck, it is getting a little weird because I do feel like it's not, again, not blade heavy. I don't think it's blade biased. It's just right now the blade is heavier than what I expect, so I'm having a little hard time reining this under control, which we'll see how I feel once I put in the weights. Because for me, the serif blade with zippy weights is perfect. So, how will the serif-o feel with zippy weights? Maybe I might need the brass weights. So, we're gonna give that a whirl soon. Now we have the zippy weights in here. Let's see. Oh, this feels great. Holy shit. I definitely feel I need to try the brass weights, unfortunately, which means I have to disassemble more knives because I've already disassembled 2 knives over and over, and now I have to disassemble a 3rd knife to get those brass weights. But this feels great, at least. Let me actually, here's the Serif V1 with brass weights. It feels really good with brass weights in, actually. Like, I prefer the zippy weights, because the zippy weights make the serif feel like... So with no weights, the serif feels neutral, but with the zippy weights, it still feels neutral, but with more handle momentum. Just a little bit more ass weight, just gives it a nice feel. Right now, with the brass weights and the serif, it feels good. There's a lot of momentum in the ass. It is oh so slightly handle biased, but here, with the opus, it might... because the opus has more tip weight, it might need the brass weights to kind of rein in that control. Shit. Opus blade. Damn. I still have yet to try opus handles. That's basically the only one I haven't tried. I've tried a Prisma V2. Not the Pro, which is the 7075 aluminum one. But the Prisma V2 feels pretty good. I wasn't crazy with the V1, but now the Opus is the only one I haven't tried of the machine-wise lineup. Unless you count like the old shit, like the Marin Light, the Thai Marin, and the 6T, and the Delta 4, but whew, Opus blade goes hard. There's just a good amount of weight to it. Also, normally I'm not crazy about Tantos, but the Opus Tanto is just a much better design than I feel like regular Tantos. Alright, we're going to do one more, and it's going to be the brass weight. Last but not least, we finally have the brass weights. I have extracted the zippy weights. Oh! This is the good shit. This is the good shit right here. Brass weights on Opus blade. Medium brass weights, I should say. If you prefer handle bias, you can still do the heavy brass weights, but I'm not going to bother. But, oh my god, this feels incredible. Holy shit. It feels, I think, maybe slightly handle bias, but you have a ton of momentum both in the blade, and the blade and the handles have, like, a good amount of weight. Now, it is heavier. Actually, let me see how much this one clocks in at. Opus blade with brass weights clocks in at 4.02. Wow, it's lighter than I expected. As when you're doing flips, like for example here, we have the extended full twirl. It definitely does feel like there's a lot of weight that I'm spinning just because it's very concentrated at the end, so I can't do an extended full twirl super fast. However, fans and rollovers feel really nice. The fans just kind of glide. They feel like they're ready to slice something. And the rollovers, now that's a balance that I like personally. Oh, that feels amazing. Holy shit. Now, would I prefer the... Ow! Oh, okay. Oopsies. They're like, the Opus blade is not that sharp. It's not. But it's still a knife. Anyways, would I prefer the Opus blade over the Serif blade? That is hard to determine. I think the Opus blade feels really good with brass weights. I think that's my favorite configuration. The medium brass weights with the Opus blade has like this really crazy momentum that feels really fun. The zippy lightweights still feel pretty good. And I do feel like you need some weight in the bottom of the handles, otherwise the Opus blade feels a little unruly. So the Opus blade with these brass weights feels nice. However, I honestly think I think my favorite is actually the Serif blade with zippy lightweights. It's a bit lighter. I could give you, actually, you know what? Here's the V1 with the zippy lightweights. V1 shouldn't be significantly different in weight. So with that, it's 3.81. So it's about 0.2 ounces lighter than the Opus blade and brass weights. That's not insignificant. So that is, I guess, my thoughts. Slifty blade, handle bias, not exactly my cup of tea. On the Marin blade, Marin blade feels nice, but it is definitely also on the lighter side too. I will put the Marin blade on the Slifty handles as one final thing in my Slifty review. But I would like to give a special shout out to Caden Rose, who lent me the Slifty blade and Opus blade and the Slifty handles. Could not have made this video without you. So thank you, Caden Rose, and if you like these videos, subscribe to my channel. I do daily uploads, and also check out my other videos. I have a video on the Serif V1, I have a video on the Serif V2, which frankly is not as in-depth because it's pretty similar to the Serif V1. It's mostly just comparing the differences. Yeah, also my Serif M video, my Sarin video. I think Sarin sounds way cooler. And then also the Slifty full review will come out soon. So thank you for tuning in. Give the video a like, and happy flipping. See you next time.